So, hi guys.
Hello.
This is a continuation of the last time we did a Q&A, whenever that was, because I don't know when I'm posting these up, and I'm probably not going to do them like back to back. So, if you want to watch the first one, click the annotation above. But, honey, let's go.
Okay, next question. So we were talking about other things before, but now we're going to switch into... What was the last question we were on?
Oh, it was the 5 worst situations we've had, but we didn't do the 5 best. So we should do the 5
we did the
best.
5 worst, which was hard.
That's a good way to
5
start this.
Best situations?
Hands down, getting married.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hell, absolutely.
Because honestly, if
list.
it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't have happened.
Absolutely, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. That was one thing I wanted to say before, when in the video we had an excuse to do it or whatever, but literally, I could not have,
People wouldn't have stepped up in our lives if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah, truthfully, I could not have convinced other people that they needed to help us more, and that sounds like...
It sounds bad.
But, here's the thing.
And granted, yes, okay, people have debated, we don't need a wedding. You're right, you don't need a wedding, but...
Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. I wanted my wedding. Michelle wanted her wedding. We had the same fucking idea.
We didn't want a fancy wedding either.
We didn't want it super fancy, and it wasn't super fancy. It was just regular run-of-the-mill bullshit.
It was perfect for us.
It was absolutely... We made the decorations ourselves. I stayed up until 3 in the morning before our wedding making the decorations with my father, and, it was like a whole big thing. Whatever the case, I am infinitely grateful to all of you guys who helped us, and I cannot repay you or thank you enough.
Exactly, and it's been things to where, when I see GoFundMes for such things, I donate even if it's not a lot, because it really did
help out.
Make the difference.
Yeah.
So...
That was number 1.
That was number 1. Number 2, getting this apartment.
Yeah, moving out on our own, definitely.
Yeah, honestly, especially with how it, led up to it, this is definitely...
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 2. Let's see. I know my third.
What's your third? You can do yours.
My third was the very first time going on a vacation. Because you guys never knew this about me, but my family, we didn't do vacations. We did, weekend trips, kind of, but we never, went anywhere. We never traveled. We never explored. It was okay, we'll go to the movies, or we'll go out to eat, or we'll go to Disneyland or something. Right. Which, for some people, it is a vacation, but when you live in Southern California, you kind of grow up going there.
Yeah.
And so, Cody and I had been dating 2 years at that point.
Yeah, because it was...
First year, I didn't go.
No. I went, but you didn't.
Yeah, and so the second year, Cody was like, hey, my grandparents have a house in Washington. Do you want to go with us? We go every year. And... I was super excited, and it was the best thing for me because, we also went on a plane together, just the two of us, and then we drove back.
We did fly up there.
We flew there and drove back.
Did we drive back?
We drove back with your parents, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it was my first time being in Washington.
And the second time we went up,
we
drove, and then they flew up, and we went,
Yeah, that's what happened, yeah. And so, it was a lot of fun. It was my first time staying in a motel. I know it sounds weird, but I'd never stayed in a motel before.
Where did we stay in a motel?
We stayed at, a Motel 6. It was in, Oregon. It was either Oregon or, the tip of California.
Wait, when?
The first time.
No, because we drove back with my parents.
Yeah, we stayed in a motel.
Oh.
Remember, because I was the little bitch who couldn't sleep in a car because they wanted to sleep in their car.
No, we just wanted to keep going and have you sleep in the car, so, okay.
But yeah, that was mine, because I'd never, we went rafting, even though the rafting was a disaster.
It wasn't a disaster. We floated.
We floated. We tipped over. We found cows. We had to climb up the cliff to your grandparents' property. The weird
Yeah, but that's just part for the course.
But it was so much fun. It was a lot, but it was so much fun.
You got indoctrinated into the women folk of the Marcus family. I did.
Okay, it turns out. All right, so Cody's family apparently.
We have a matriarchy as well as a patriarchy in terms of the older generation. And,
well, the women were on the show.
Well, kinda, yeah.
What I mean by that is, you've always said, the wives were, the yes or no if you stayed in the family.
Oh, no, that is 100% true.
And, okay,
you pissed off one of them bitches, you're fucked.
I didn't know this, but Cody was they never warm up to girlfriends as fast as they have you.
No, and that's also because a lot of the girlfriends they brought in are subpar compared to you, so...
Oh, wow.
I never brought one to him unless I brought you, and that was perfect because I knew. So, I mean, honestly, the bar was set pretty high when you walked in. So, they were like, all right, she passed it. She's not like those other skanks. We're good.
That is true.
Because, I mean, my cousins have...
They date a lot of gold diggers.
They did. My uncle did, too.
Yeah, and not in, no, she was a gold
straight
digger.
up bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she passed the Marcus women test, I guess you could say, as weird as that is.
Yeah, so...
so then, yeah, she got into the inner circle.
Which was just, we hung out and they...
Yeah, which was just...
They showed...
You did cooking and old lady
They
stuff.
liked talking to me, which apparently you're like, yeah, they don't talk to the other girlfriends.
They
and I was
don't.
like, oh.
It's weird. It's like this stupid, mythical, inter-family bullshit. Anyway, so yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, so that's the third one. So we need 2 more really good things. I know we have a lot.
One of my personal relished memories is... It is driving us to, it was Del Mar. The first year I went with the Mustang with you. Because...
In San Diego?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Because there was one particular, one of my best moments in terms of, one of those moments when you're like, everything is right in life, I'm happy. And I have those more often now than I did back then. But it was cruising down PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, and we were looking for lunch, and we're in the Mustang, and you're with me, and music is going, and it's just calm, and...
That is true. And we had the most hipster lunch.
Oh, fuck yeah. We had fucking
so
cucumber
good.
water and
shit.
shit.
I remember you eating
And it was dope-ass water. Don't get me wrong. It was good.
I had a vegan salad, and it tasted amazing.
It was some good shit. And then we went and saw fucking Power Rangers.
That movie was good. I don't care what people said. I liked the Power Rangers, the movie,
live action,
the live action.
Well, they're all live action, but
okay, the not straight to DVD one though.
Yeah, not the sparks blowing up in the background.
But no, that was a good trip. I loved that trip. Okay, one more.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one. It's crass, but I mean it's me. So.
Oh.
We lost our virginity in a sex cabin, and it was amazing. It was a sex.
You had to say it that way.
That's what it was. There was a jacuzzi tub in the bedroom. It was
there was only one room, and it was the bedroom.
Exactly.
Look, y'all. Okay. Look, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a pretty extra motherfucker. I will try and be as extra as possible because I have this infinite need to impress Michelle for some fucking reason, and to bring light into her eyes and make her wonder. And
we were both virgins, so we kind of wanted to make it be special. I wanted to get the
fuck out of the Dodge. I wanted to go away somewhere. So we went up to an area, and they had nice cabins you could rent out for the evening and stuff. And we rented the cabin, and it was bitching, and
everything was great.
We went out to dinner.
But you know what got me was after the things happened, we were all done. We were both like,
oh, yeah.
I'm hungry, and nothing was open, so we had to drive to find a McDonald's.
And the only thing open was McDonald's. So we christened that part of our life starting with fucking McDonald's.
McDonald's and Aladdin, because it was the only thing on TV. Because we weren't tired.
No, after that, you weren't tired.
We were not tired, and we were like, we're hungry, we're not tired, and the only thing on TV was Aladdin. So we watched Aladdin, passed the fuck out. And then we spent the whole day in that cool little town, yeah. So you learn more about us.
Yay!
All right. Okay. Next question. If you had the opportunity to go back in time 10 years ago, but you had to stay the same time forever, would you? No, 10 years ago was before I met you, and that was the worst time in my life. 10 years ago.
No, honey.
Yeah.
It was right when we met each other. Remember,
we were still in high school. I don't want to live in high school for the rest of my life.
No, I don't want to live in high school for the rest of my life. God, no.
Well, that was it. It was, you would live in that first year for the rest of your life. Nah, sorry.
I've grown up so much since then, I'm good with where I'm at now.
Yeah, no, I'm good with where I'm at now.
I'm one of the few people, I guess, maybe, I know Michelle is too, but I think about when people go back in time and that idea, if you could do something to change your life now, would you? And I always say no. Here's the thing. If I did something different before, I would have never met Michelle.
Yeah.
And She is the thing, the solid. If there is a time and a place in my life that has completely switched, it was when I met her.
I think I should. Okay, so this is something I've never talked about online. I've talked to my friends about this, and you know this. So the chances of us even meeting were so slim that we would not have met if the economy didn't crash. And I know that sounds terrible.
No, yeah, that's
but
true.
My parents they got us citizenship to go move to the Cayman Islands. This is true. Everything was planned. We had like gotten into schools. I was still in middle school at this time, and everything was going that we were literally like, I remember when I was going to start high school in the fucking Cayman Islands, and the economy crashed. And so my parents were like, okay, we'll push the move back. Mm-hmm. And then my parents were in real estate, and in California, that's what crashed. So
they tanked.
So because my parents were smart with their money and were going to move us to another fucking country, they were like, okay, no, we can't do that. We need to stay here.
Yeah.
And because of those savings, we stayed afloat. And if it literally was not for the economy tanking, I wouldn't have even been in the same country as Cody.
And I don't ever say this to anything because it's weird, but during that economy crash, my house got foreclosed on, and we were homeless. And the only way I could go to school was because there was a neighbor to the school who was a friend of my dad's, would let me have my address be there. And the high school I went to was...
Don't say what it is.
No, I'm not. But the high school I went to was the same one Michelle went to, of course. And that was... The only reason I went there is because a friend of a friend let us use that address because we didn't have one for me to go to high school where I was going at. Like, and where I originally lived, I was destined to go to the high school in that town. But because, number one, my friend of a friend's daughter went to this high school and they'd let us use their address.
Yeah. And he did live there sometimes.
And I did live there.
Because he didn't have a place.
Because I didn't have a fucking place.
So,
but eventually, time went on, like, not very much longer, like 8 or so months. We were floating house to house with family and stuff. But we didn't have like an address where we were staying until we finally did get one nearby, and then I obviously went to high school there for the rest of the time, all 4 years, and met Michelle and all that stuff. But literally, the economy caused both of our lives to stay or move where they needed to go for us to meet.
Exactly, and it was so slim that it never would have happened if it had. I know it's a terrible thing to say because we didn't want the economy to crash.
No, but it helped us.
But yeah, we literally, there's no way we would have met. Like I cannot think of any way. Yeah, you went on a completely. I would have been in a completely different country, and we didn't like talk online. So
no, we only met because of a group of our friends during summer school.
Exactly, where like we became friends because I knew of you as
your group of friends got osmosisly grouped in with mine because I was dating my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And you were best friends with her sister.
Yeah.
And our groups of friends kind of homogenized together because of that.
Yeah.
Like, because I would hang out with a set of group and then they would kind of like take in some more. We were the misfits. And so we kind of we all grouped together.
Yeah, we were the edgy anime kids.
Yes.
That's exactly what we were.
We were the edgy anime kids.
So... That's there's that.
There you go.
So, next question. Tips for Dora, my lady.
My lady.
I just like that one. So, do you want children?
Yeah.
We both want children.
But not right now.
Not right now. We want children when we've been... I don't want to say successful, but we've been stable
to a point
for like...
that we feel we can take care of them.
We've been stable for a good couple
of years. When we're fucking ready. How about that?
Yeah. Pretty much, that's it. So we do want kids, but it's when we've been stable for a few years. We are nowhere near stable right now. No. We're like getting to stability, but I want to be stable for a while.
Get a lot of shit done before I have children.
Yeah. So in the future, yes. Right Not now, anytime soon, no. Okay, where do you think you guys would be if you never... Oh, we already answered that one. So, see the part 1. Again, check the iCard. Do you have any crushes on fictional characters?
Is the other partner aware?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we're like, fuck, that character's cute.
Yeah, that's another dynamic that we have that I guess some people don't have with their partner. Like, I will, and this is 100%, Michelle and I will have this interesting ability. I don't give a shit because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not trying to go after anything. I'll be like, that girl's got a nice butt. And then Michelle will go...
Yeah, she got a nice butt.
And then I will be like, that dude's got a nice whatever. And she'll be like, yee. So yeah, we kind of like we don't care. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't like as far as like character wise, like, and this is okay. As far as online characters, I get like, you know, like, ooh, she's my wife, whatever, you know, the fucking like the jokes I make about characters and stuff like that are a little crass, but Michelle does the same thing. And look, if characters are hot, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Especially ones that like Michelle and her friends design, because goddamn.
Thank you.
Like 1010 would wank.
Would wank. not would fuck. I would wank them.
No.
No.
Wank
You
to
said
them.
no. I would wank them.
I mean,
I like that. I like that
there you
one.
Do you guys? Oh yeah, we already did that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any tips for new artists, novice artists? Look up references and study.
Yeek.
It's annoying and it's boring, but it will help you.
Possibly dumb question, but what? Oh, we already did that. Okay.
Yeah, but here you go.
What started my love for cars?
Yeah, what started it? That's a good one.
Holy shit, Stacks. Children, have you got a minute? So, all right, little background on my life. Since the day I wasn't even born yet, cars have been a thing. My mother was 6 or 7 months pregnant with me and was changing out the shock absorbers on her car. And my father went outside and was like, "What the fork are you doing?" And she's like, "I got to get this shit done because we need this done." And he's like, by the way, my father's not very mechanically inclined, so he was just gonna pay someone to do it. My mom's like, "Nah, fuck that shit. I can do this. I'm not doing anything at home anyway."
So it was in his blood.
It's always been in my blood. Also, my grandfather is to thank for this.
It like skipped a generation. It was
It skipped. My father he's interested in cars in the sense that he's a consumer of vehicles, in the worst sense in a lot of ways. My parents go through cars very.
Not the brakes. They go through
Well,
brakes.
they go through a lot of different things. Engines, there's a lot of shit. My grandfather has always had an interest in cars. He always bought and sold classic cars. He
taught you how to refurbish cars.
He taught me when I was very young. I was like 4 or 5. Actually, ever since I was born, cars have been kind of around. In the sense that I always had an interest in cars because of like Hot Wheels and things like that. I used to. I had little toy cars with little rubber tires on them, and I used to like the tires. You could peel them off, and I used to like chew on them as a baby, not like a baby, but like a kid, you know, like.
You were a toddler.
I was a toddler, and like my dad would catch me all the time trying to like chew on tires on cars and stuff, and be fucking, I don't know, whatever that was, teething on them. So it's kind of always been my thing. And then when I was growing up, my grandfather would sit me on his lap, and they lived in Arizona, and there was like this long stretch of road, and I would drive in and out of it, like in the car, steering it when I was a little kid, and he'd put the gas and everything. And then right around 7 years old, my grandfather and grandmother lived in a town that was, they had a shop, like a work mechanic shop that came up for sale, for rent, I should say, and my grandfather rented it, and he stored his cars there.
Really? I never knew that.
Yeah, so he stored it. My grandmother's convertible, it's a 65 Buick Skylark, and then he bought the building because he bought a 1938 Chevy 2-door coupe, and he needed somewhere to put it, and he wanted a workshop for himself. He was retired at the time, and he still is, and he wanted to build cars and restore them and stuff there. And that was all well and good, and he brought me into that and started teaching me how to do that. I wasn't old enough yet. I was like 5 when he got that place. And so I liked cars, but I wasn't like into them to the point where I needed to like absorb their shit every day of my life.
You were a little kid who
I was a little
cars.
kid. But when I really got into cars was my first car. And look, a lot of you are going to be like, okay, it wasn't really your car, but it was actually my car. My grandfather will fucking tell you this himself. When I was 7 years old, my grandfather bought 2 Mustangs. He bought a 1967 Mustang Coupe and mine, which is a 1966 Mustang Coupe. He bought them, ironically, for my cousins. My cousins...
Really?
Yes. He bought them for himself because they were a good deal, but he was going to use them because my cousins are about 4 years older than I am. So they were... The oldest one was about 12 or 13 at the time. It was right around the age that you start getting kids into cars and, hey, we're going to get you a car and we're going to restore it for your, 16-year-old thing. Well, long story short, my cousins live across the country and they were all like, yay, cool, but they weren't really caring. And
it was more like, ooh, I get a car.
Ooh, I get a car, and they didn't really care. Now, here's the thing. up until that point, I didn't really understand cars, but by that point I was starting to get them. I was watching a lot of TV shows with cars in them, and all these favorite things. My favorite cars were like, you know, anything that was a classic. And my grandfather brought me over to the shop one day, and these two Mustangs are sitting in the shop, and I was like, whoa, because
they weren't brand new
Now, here's the
Mustangs.
thing.
Like that's like
if you guys hang around me enough and you hear me online, my appreciation for cars runs to my core. And I have, if anything, an ability to see potential in things that no one else does. So I see this white and this red Mustang sitting there, and I can picture it like it was like today. It's the middle of July. It's hot. The building is fucking so hot inside. We open the sliding door to open it up, and there's the first car I see is mine that I have now, and it is there's like no lights on in the shop, and then you slide the door open, and I watched the fucking sun slick across the car, and I was like, instantaneously, I had to have it. And like, for me, and this is where my love of all, like for photography lessons and shit, I love what we call the rear 3/4. Okay, looking at the rear 3/4 of an object or a car in profile. It is the best angle for my love of vehicles. It is the angle I think shows all the lines off very well. It shows off all the accentuating features of a car, and also dead ass. They have a good butt, then I like it. I honestly can stem. I'm an ass man, and I got it from cars. I'm not even kidding. So the first thing I see is this beautiful white tail end of a fucking 66 Mustang coupe, and ironically, it was totally fucking mashed up. The car had a big ass dent in the back. The whole side of it was all sideswiped. And I just loved it. And I don't know why. Even to this day, it just kicked off something that has never stopped. And my grandfather was sitting there and he's like, which one do you want? And without any hesitation, and he said this because he actually asked me the question, which is kind of cool. He goes, hey, Code, I know you like cars, but how would you like to have a car like these? And I said, oh my God, it'd be amazing. I'd love to have one of these cars. It'd be a dream. And he says, all right, I'll make you a deal. If you want one of these cars, I will give it to you, and it is entirely yours. And you will have it for as long as you want to keep it, but I get to teach you how to build it. And I said yes, because duh. And so he says, all right, which one do you want? And I said, I want the white one because it's cool. And he says, all right, the white one's yours. And from, what is it? We got it in...
You were 7.
I was 7, so it was the middle of summer, so it was July or June, I think it was July, 1999 is the month, I don't know the day, but that is when my love for cars truly started. And it started with my first car. And I still have that car, and it is my baby.
And you've dailied that car before.
I have had many a trial and tribulation, Michelle and I both, in my 66 Mustang. Mm-hmm. And it is a car that I will never get rid of. It is the car I will own till the day I die.
You also raced it.
I've raced it. I've fucking destroyed it a lot.
We've picnicked on it. We've done everything.
We've done a lot of shit. That and the 240 are the ones that have the most, and the Ultima actually, have the most mileage with us. But definitely the 240 and that car have the most history with Michelle and I. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I got into cars because I had a very cool grandfather. And I had a very lucky situation. And all from the moment I got that motherfucker until I got into high school and could drive it, I would brag. I even took the keys to fucking middle school one day because some kid was talking shit. I was so mad because he wouldn't believe that I had this car. And I fucking went and got the keys and I was like, what's up, bitch? These are my keys. And he was like, okay, that doesn't prove shit. And he's fair and point.
Middle school.
Like... But you know what? Fuck it. And then, yeah. So that was my little long rant on how I got into cars. And it has never stopped and it never will stop.